Historia.
Commission therefore declares Honorable Mwai Kibaki as the President of Kenya.
Nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, mapini ile inabadilisha dereva, tulikotoka ni wapi tunaenda.
We have agreed that what is needed is a political solution.
Na Mungu alinde kontinenti letu la Afrika. Mungu na abariki, asanteni sana. Asante.
Usipoziba ufa ukuta taje.
Devolution is the key to solving our historical problems in this country.
Ukitoa maoni yako polisi wanakamata. Baba wa taifa akisema kazi yako ni kufuata. Watu wanauliza maswali vile alikufa Ngala. Ati ajali ya barabara wananchi wana maswala. Ukabila nayo kaanza, mauaji ya raia kule Nyanza, kupigana kwa fahali wawili kuliumiza nyasi za uwanja. Pio Gama Pinto, JM Kariuki na Tomboya, wanasiasa waliuliwa, wananchi wanadai oya. Harambe harambe, tujenge nchi yetu, hatukubali huo msemo, mnaua watu wetu.
In the olden days, the pastoralist community which I come from and which I actually represent, we have always regarded ourselves as marginalized community or communities. But luckily enough, with devolution now in place, we really feel that we are also on board in terms of sharing of the national cake.
Many of us in the country, in our languages and culture, have no idea what a billion means. But we hear that each county gets upwards of 5 to 6 billion each year.
Devolution, yes, you could say that it has changed Kenyan politics, but also I think that it has been a part of Kenyan politics in terms of devolution as an idea driving Kenyan politics since the independence years.
It has empowered me in the sense that I know my right place. 2/3 gender rule is there. I know I'm vying for a seat knowing that this is an opportunity for a woman. And this has come because of course, the constitution and devolution.
Tunahitaji viongozi wasiokuwa na mapendeleo, na hiyo ni maendeleo. Nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, mapini ile badilisha dereva, tulikotoka ni wapi tunaenda. Usipoziba ufa ukuta tajenga. Nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, mapini ile badilisha dereva, tulikotoka ni wapi tunaenda. Usipoziba ufa ukuta tajenga. Nchi yetu ya Kenya.
Honored members, let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness you have appointed the offices of the leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of the society.
I'm Regarius Julius. I'm the member of County Assembly representing the people of municipality. At the same time, I'm the Deputy Speaker, Meru County Assembly. You see, the uniqueness of our County Assembly is that we have put the difference in terms of the party positions, and now you're working for the benefit of Mwananchi. Those others, they are just merely because they are provided by the standing orders and the County Government Act and all those legislative act. But basically, as we know, you're working as one County Assembly to see that all what you promise our Wananchi are being fulfilled. So we have no that kind of party, strictly party positions.
It is easier to deal with a government that is headquartered in your county than to deal with a government that is sitting in Nairobi. Why would I need to go to Nairobi to go for something that I can get help from Meru town? Honestly, except for political purposes, I don't see the need for those things to be done in Nairobi. Since now it has proven that county governments are doing their worthwhile to the public and to the people.
I'm Honorable Susan Mohabe, a member of County Assembly of Migori and representing the people of Nyamosensa Komosoko Ward, where we are now.
That an early childhood facility was started on 2014, and today we're in 2018, and that project is not complete. These young children, honestly, are they supposed to take learning in those kind of facilities? Honorable members, let's be serious when we answer the question. And my speaker, I want to register my displeasure on this issue. And I still further want to instruct the chair to actually see why that this information is not really palatable to this house. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
There is tremendous change. The lives of Kenyans have really improved in the sense that services have been devolved. People can make decisions on priority basis as what they really need. People have resources with which to budget what they really need. And the time for white elephants, as opposed to what was there before the constitution, is really long gone.
People are allowed to make decisions at the local level.
And Mr. Speaker, sir, we are doing well. And also, like my good friend Honorable Makasi has said, let not the members look onto the chairman only or the chairpersons of these committees so that they generate businesses of the committee. We have a lot that we need to do, and it's I urge my fellow honorable colleagues to also assist where they are needed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you so much, Honorable.
Members of Justice. Members of Justice, meet me here. Members of Justice, meet me here.
So this is where we place our maize, okay? And these are the seats where our clerks sit. These are the seats for our clerks. That one is for the senior clerk, and these are for assistant clerks.
I am the Senior Public Communication Officer at the County Assembly of Meru. This is called the dispatch table, and these are the maize holders. When the speaker walks in, the maize is placed on top at the higher holder when the assembly is on session. If there is a bill or for some reason the assembly takes a short break to be on a committee stage, that's when the maize is lowered.
This is where our speaker sits when addressing the whole house during the plenary sessions.
Tulikotoka ni wapi tunaenda, usipoziba ufa ukuta tajenga. Nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, mapini ile badilisha dereva. Tulikotoka ni wapi tunaenda.
Devolution is the best thing that happened, because for many years since independence we were left out. We were marginalized as a county. A lot of development took place in many parts of Kenya, but this other side, we were just left out by the previous government that were in place. So devolution for us is a God-given gift. A lot of development is taking place. Resources from the national government now is trickling down to the villages.
Pamoja kazini, kila siku tuwe na shukrani.
You know, the county government now is handling several sectors of the economy, like lower education, like of the ECDE, that is early education, childhood, and also it handles the sector of the polytechnics, that is the tertiary colleges, especially the polytechnics.
I wish to take this opportunity to welcome you all to Nthuku Vocational Center.
We had less than 8,000 students in our early childhood development centers in 2013. By 2017, we had 14,800. That's a tremendous increase in terms of the enrollment levels in our schools. We had no single early childhood development center classroom as at the period of devolution in 2013, well developed with facilities, with learning facilities. But as we speak today, we stand at 186. We intend to go the entire 390 number of early childhood centers that we are supposed to develop for our communities to be able to access.
You get from Nairobi. I do demonstration first, then next time they can do individually. Yes.
Also, this one, this formation, I can say it is good for the youths, and I'm proud to be a carpenter. Yeah.
What is called Kenya is me and you. Hakuna Kenya ingine. The ads where you are seated will be protected. Mimi na wewe tukitaka kuprotect. Hii compound tukitaka kutengeneza tutatengeneza. Tukitaka kuharibu tunaharibu. Kwa hivyo we must be prepared to build Kenya. And for you to build Kenya, you must build your household. You must build this VTC. You must build Marsabit. Ndio Kenya iweze kujengeka. So, kama county government, this is part of our effort to try and build Kenya.
In Nandi County, we have constructed quite a number of early childhood development classrooms in various primary schools, and it is an ongoing project. Because of devolution also, we are setting up the first public university in Nandi, suitably named Koitalel Samoei University. In Nandi County, devolution is working. We have seen roads which previously didn't exist have now been opened up by the county roads machinery.
The county has several mandates as given by the Constitution of Kenya. One of them being roads, water sector, health services, and we have rolled several projects in all the sectors that we are mandated to work on as a county.
Since 2010, perhaps this is the 7th year, almost 7th year, there is a clear indicator that devolution has actually transformed people's lives positively. You remember that recently there were talk like the first roads, the first tarmac roads in Mandera, in Marsabit, they are being seen. They are being actually, the people there now, they can see tarmac. In fact, there are some people who are not seeing tarmac since they were born.
One of the projects that we are putting in a lot of effort as a department, and through the support of the county government, the governor actually put this also in as part of this agenda, is the export processing zone that we are setting up in Chemeril Chemase ward, that is at the border of Nandi and Nyanza. It's actually about 35 kilometers from the Kisumu airport. And therefore it's more strategic for us because it's also some few kilometers to the place where the SGR will be passing through. So basically we are trying to set up an export processing zone, which will be a modern industrial park where we attract investments.
From the county referral hospital to the sub-county hospitals and dispensaries, they have seen a lot of renovations, a lot of new developments coming in, including new theatre have been constructed in at least 3 hospitals within the county.
We lost children here. They would fall sick because the hospital is very far. By the time we get that dispensary, the child is gone. So I promised them a dispensary. I started it before I was elected. Now after election, you can see I'm completing it. I'll need just 2 nurses. Okay. At the dispensary level, they can only give me 2 nurses. Okay. When it becomes a health center, now they can give me a clinical officer. Okay. And a few nurses, but to start with, I'll have 2 nurses, and we have the community, people from the community who are trained to do basic things like testing for malaria. They can be here and help.
Right now, since devolution started, so we have achieved so many tall buildings in this compound. So many units have been opened. We have opened up a renal unit. We have new executive laboratory of the current system. So since that, a great change has been noticed.
It is the 4th or the 5th county that has more people who are treated of cancer in the Nairobi hospitals. So this was a considerate measure that the county government took to screen people so that they can know their status as well as continue with the treatment if possible. So I can't say that devolution has not done what should be done.
Well, devolution has been something that we as civil servants and citizens of the country have been yearning for, and since the birth of the Constitution of Kenya, the 2010 Constitution of Kenya, we have been able to see immense developments within the lowest levels of government, from the ward level to the constituency up to the regional level in terms of devolution.
This is one of our AstroTurf 7-a-side pitches that have been built within the inner city. And the reason we've done this is to give the youth within the area something to do after school, an activity that can keep them off the streets and just give them something organized to do.
I also thank the county government for at least allowing us to use their hall, these outside laboratories, in case we have games. We are surrounded by slums. Slums life, I think you know. So we are trying to at least to keep our youths busy. Next time mnipatie verse. Ndio mimi pia nilifanya choral verses. Nimetikisika na kumakilika. Nimetikisika na kumakilika. Mbele. Recite to the same voice that you are using on the proposals. Sawa. Sasa unajua ukiongea kama unaongea sauti haitoki. But ukiongea ni kama sitoki kwenda sitoki, you see. So you acting whereby hata mtu akiwa pale anasikia nini unasema. Sitoki hata kama ni mtaa.
Nandi
The government of Kenya, somehow would say, the county level underrates the potential that tourism has. And we need to change that mindset. We need to come together with the officials from the county, the private sector, and try to do this thing for the benefit of everyone.
See, Mashujaa heroes struggle beyond independence to the Kenya year of Golden Jubilee. I was courageous, he was not selfish. I've written this black you, those things. He was very courageous. Now he has taught us that we can fight for our land, we can fight for our things, we can not only your own things. No, you can fight for your land, you can fight for anything for the community. And it's an heritage center. And I want to make this one, because it's a cultural center, I want to get information for these young people to see. There are some things that I've hidden, like now, those granaries.
Nasikia kama mwananchi chini ya serikali ya Kenyatta. Kenya ni jamhuri, matunda ya uhuru hatujapata. Ukitoa maoni yako polisi wanakamata. Baba wa taifa akisema kazi yako ni kufuata. Watu wanauliza
Shujaa wa Maumau. Women are using their scarves. Hata scarves zimeandikwa Shujaa wa Maumau. Ngana vile imeandikwa. Imeandikwa Shujaa wa Maumau. Hizi ndio uniform tunatumia sasa. Women wanaweka hizi, men wanaweka hizi, and these t-shirts. Wana t-shirts, siko.
Na watu wetu, ukweli ni Kenyatta kuwa moja wa Maumau. Baada ya kuteuliwa rais, yeye ndio aliwasahau. Miaka 50 baada ya uhuru bado maisha duni. Nazo siku za usoni zitakuwaje ndugu zanguni?
Kenya tunayoipenda, mapini ile badilisha dereva. Tulikotoka ni wapi tunenda, usipoziba ufa ukuta tajenga. Nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, mapini ile badilisha dereva. Tulikotoka ni wapi tunenda, usipoziba ufa.
The issue of the traditional cultural groups were paid and brought to this place. So the county government took care of the logistics on matters that was with the Kochore celebration.
Even Kochore Samuel himself was a young person, the youngest MCA in the country, and it's a lady, the MCA for Kilibwani, Cynthia. Cynthia, I think, is now 24, and it's a lady, so you can imagine the conservatism that was known for to be with the Nandi people was thrown out of the window in the last general election.
First, I want to appreciate devolution big time. I think it's the best thing that happened. Well, in Kenya, we were not so mature to have devolution, really. But we're here, so we really have to start from where we are. So devolution, I think it's the best thing because it has really brought one too many things close to the people. Long ago, when I was a kid, it was so rare and it was almost impossible for you to see an elected leader because they were these huge people, big men, and they wouldn't come anywhere close. But you see, with devolution, it has really devolved the whole function to a point where you have an MCA, and MCA is in control of a smaller area. Apart from me, yeah, mine sounds like and looks like a constituency.
Talking about the politics in Kenya, it's not an easy task on the part of the women. It's quite hard because still there is gender inequality in Kenya. women are not given the chances like men to take part in the politics.
Yeah, people still believe that politics is about money, politics is about gangs. It's not about the transformational leadership that we thought as women that we want to bring change. So we really still need to do a lot as women, but we should not so give up. We really need to strive and also to encourage and to empower and mentor other young girls to come just to see the importance of women leadership.
For 5 years that Munya was the governor, he opened so many roads, the feeder roads. In Kanuni, he did almost 70% of roads there. And farmers could transport their miraa from interior to the market without any problem. And this other day, a company aimed to commission a water project, a massive water project which costed millions. And the farmers there are using that water to irrigate their miraa farms.
Whatever land issues have been swept under the carpet for a long time, this administration under the leadership of Governor Stephen Sang wants to deal with issues of historical injustices. We all know that when the British came to Kenya, this land here, the White Highlands, they were inhabited by the Nandi people, and of course in other parts of the country, the other communities. And huge chunks of land was taken away in Nandi and now is under tea, owned by multinational tea companies. And so the county government of Nandi wants to look at that. But that's not again for us to decide. The National Land Commission will listen to the cases. The local environment and land courts, we will take some of the cases there. The local county assembly will also offer redress of some sort. The national government, Ministry of Lands and Physical Planning, we will also take our issues there and see if there is any form of redress that these organizations can offer the Nandi people. Public land has been taken away by private individuals, land which belonged to the Nandi County Council and now the Nandi County government. You get people called squatters in their own land.
The government used to share resources depending on the people on the ground. If they like them, they give them more resources. If they don't like them, they don't give them resources. So devolution is the best thing that has happened.
See how you can harness and invest security. Don't take, it's not my function. It's your function because without security you cannot go anywhere. As I finish, it's a major program that was initiated by Ukuru's government, the Kenya-Ethiopian border, which was launched by the president of Uhuru.
Or unless, under the leadership of our governor, maybe something will materialize and we'll be able to see some light at the end of the tunnel.
So I am with you. If that project which was started is viable, we'll continue with it. If there is any other alternative that needs to be corrected, then we shall rely on that professional report from the department so that we ensure we shall have an abattoir. One way or the other, we must have an abattoir.
This is now assembly, and we have the executive, which is headed by chairperson, and the assembly, which is headed by speaker. So that's how we are working.
The Ward Development Fund is a big deal. The Ward Development Fund, it will help you, or rather help the MCA, sort of, because this is the person who's at the ground level. This is the person who really gets one-on-one with the people. You rarely get one-on-one with the governor, really, because the area is huge. So for the MC, if we can get the ward development fund, you can be able to identify signature projects per ward and signature projects maybe per sector, so to speak, so that you can be able to use the ward development fund together with the people. Being a physical planner, I know that you plan with the people for the people. So so that together with the people, you can sit and say, hey, as a ward, as Kilebwani ward, this is what we don't have, this is what we want, and we sit and prioritize. We talk like literally at the lowest level. The ward development fund will do a great deal.
Seen a lot that has taken place in our country, especially Migori. Yeah. One, infrastructure.
And again, I think there's one thing that will really help the devolution, that will really show that devolution is really working right now in the country, especially for the wards. One would be the ward development fund.
There is a circulation of fund. That fund which was circulating, which was being owned by the national government, it is nowadays circulating within the county. Everybody can touch it. And that is the very negative, positive part of it.
Money supply has increased.
Money finance has been circulating. The accumulation of funds in Migori County is justified. Only that it goes into wrong hands. I'm sorry to say that.
Our hero Raila Amolo Odinga came out with it, and we are still expecting a lot from it. My remark on it is that it is still on trial. There is so many implementation that need to be done so that devolution can satisfy. But it is a best idea that can satisfy every common man when it is properly utilized.
Saying that devolution is a game changer doesn't mean that it doesn't have problems. I think devolution has had quite a number of problems. One of the problems that people often don't talk about is the fact that the authors of the Constitution were not very sure whether they really wanted us to have devolution or not. And so we have some ambivalent provisions in the Constitution that perhaps suggest that devolution and the national government all have concurrent roles. You know, that the roles that devolved entities are supposed to play are the roles that the national entity, does play.
Kwa kweli Mheshimiwa Gavana alisaidia sana katika kutaka huu msikiti ufunguliwe. Yeye na Abdul Samad walifanya bidii, wakaita mashehe, wakaita mabaraza ya Kiislamu ya waimamu na nini yote ili kusaidia hii misikiti, hasa misikiti hii miwili, huu na Sakina, Musa na Sakina, ili ifunguliwe irudi katika hali ya kawaida. Lakini baada ya kuitwa chifu akanichagua mimi kama ni mwakilishi pale, kwa sababu niko karibu sana na chifu. Kusema kweli mpaka sasa hivi hatujaona msaada wote mkubwa kwa serikali za ugatuzi.
Corruption. Not only one county, you hear every county. People are being chased, people are voicing the issues of corruption. So I think even though devolution has come and it's time, I believe that proper structure had not been laid in place or put in place so that can check or counter-check the good, faithful leadership to the people, especially on the side of finances.
I believe, because I've seen it, in devolving power, we also devolved corruption. So the money that is sent to the county may not be used for the purpose for which it was sent. Yeah.
You see, when they did devolution, they devolved everything.
Previously, we had big scandals happen in the national government, but currently they have been kind of brought down to the variance.
All the 47 county governments, over 50% of their budgets are dependent on Nairobi. Yeah? And so the national government then can decide to make things go slow or faster, depending on a given political situation. Majority of the conversation and the politics at the local level with the MCAs and the county assemblies concern the lack of money to do A, B, and C.
You know, what that means is that the assemblies, the devolved assemblies can hardly make any new law because there is law on virtually everything that they're supposed to legislate on.
And the cry that we saw coming from the coast was basically a cry for more functions, for more responsibility, for more autonomy.
There is that aspect of people feeling that this woman will not make it. My competitor saying, we told you not to give a woman. Now you can see this woman is doing nothing. As much as you work, they still look at you as a woman who will not do much.
They are enjoying. Sanareku. You know, they have no idea. Intan. Papa, you want?
It has not been there before. It's something new. When he was a member of parliament, and people respect him so much. So this name is there to remain. Everybody appreciates.
Devolution, devolution. I'm talking about devolution. My city, my country, where I come from, Marsabit County youths are getting nuns. Money.
And people believe men are the best leaders. Women have no place in leadership. They believe that once a woman is elected, the secret of the people will be leaked out. That is their belief. If it comes to performance, I know what I've performed in this county. Not even the present governor or the MPA has helped the people the much I did. And this is the problem we have in our region because women are really not elected into leadership. People are even arguing about the women rep seat, which is especially for women. If only they get opportunity, men could vie for the same seat. So that is the difficulty.
In this part of the world where for you as a woman to be given an opportunity, there is a perception that you must have gone to bed with a man or something like that before you've been given that opportunity, and it's a common narrative. And one of the things which we have to contend with is that especially the young people do not believe that a young woman or a middle-aged woman can actually get an opposition and can get a position without going to bed with a man.
There are changes, but things like roads, hospitals.
It's like this intake of tribalism has taken a shape into this county. So in terms of governing the county, all is related to tribalism.
Earlier, we thought about we as, for example, as Marian or as Mount Kenya. But when you devolved, came about, now people are coming too close to now the ethnicity from certain clan.
Logo and the emblems are not really representative because the full logo is that the county government of Meru and then the home of Mount Kenya. We feel we are not really the home of Mount Kenya. There's going to be a competition whereby people, mostly the youth, will be invited to come up with logos and the best will be awarded. And then we bring the motion to parliament, the bill, we change that logo and we have a new logo.
I have not been elected not because I cannot perform, but because I come from a minority tribe which is called Wayu, and Politics is a game of numbers. My people are few and they cannot manage to elect me.
I have seen the electorates, they move into the ballot box and they may elect a given politician, not so much because he is ready to deliver or because he is conversant with the topic, but because maybe he comes from their tribe, he comes from their clan, or maybe because he just comes from their region. And these things are frustrating the whole spirit and essence of devolution.
The devolved counties inherited a very huge number of national government staff, and then they went ahead and employed other staff, and so we have the wage bill issues that you hear of. Mombasa, for example, had to take over about 2,000 employees.
The devolution was not meant to reward political cronies. Devolution was not meant to create employment. Devolution was specifically intended to trickle down, to devolve the resources to the farthest part of the county.
People like devolution. They may not like the Linda, because the devolution has given them the resources to use. Lindas may misuse them, so people feel devolution may be wrong, but devolution is the best thing.
We've seen new roads being split across mountains. We've seen cabro works in cities, including in slum areas. We have seen executives who work for the county, who earn good salaries, hundreds of them, across the country, something we would never have seen, and we haven't seen for 50 years.
So there are several things that you can say it's a milestone that has been brought about by devolution. However, you may not say that you have reached the optimal point by which maybe the pioneers or those who created the constitution, they wanted us to be, and especially at this particular time.
A lot of what we are seeing now in terms of how devolution is getting implemented, in terms of how devolution is getting contested from above and from below, is informed by that long historical struggle and popular understandings around what people expect devolution to do for them, which they are seeing is not happening. That's what I would say about the current status of devolved government in Kenya.
We can't trade it for anything else. We can talk about changes and reforms and even a new referendum and anything else that people want, but we can't trade devolution for anything else.
So yes, I think devolution is working. If you give it another 5 years going forward, I think we will no longer care who becomes president of Kenya. We want to get to that point where we will care who is the governor of Nandi County and who is my member of the county assembly.
And we are seeing the fruits of devolution.
Kashfa ya Anglo-Leasing,
ahadi ya kumaliza ufisadi na bilioni zikago missing,
wizi wa kura kusababisha chuki na hasira, vita kila pahali kwa misingi ya kikabila, mauaji ya kikatili kutendeka kanisani, hakuna haki kwa ma-IDP waliachwa hivyo jamani, serikali ya mseto kuundwa kupunguza hiyo ghasia, walaji kuongezeka kukulia moja sinia, ukweli ni Ubako alivunja hadi aliyotupa, vile alisema ufisadi itakuwa kitu itachwa nyuma, matajiri kuongezeka, bei ya mahitaji kwenda juu, kawezi amini hivyo, weni pumbavu. Nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, mabini ile badilisha dereva, tulikotoka ni wapi tunenda, usipoziba ufa ukuta tajenga. Nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, mabini ile badilisha dereva, tulikotoka ni wapi tunenda, usipoziba ufa ukuta tajenga. Nchi yetu ya Kenya